everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about The Illuminae Files by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. But before we get into this massive, confusing to read in paper form book, let's not forget to subscribe to my channel and click that bell notification button so you never ever miss a video. So let's dive on in here. The Illuminae Files. Holy crap. I loved this series, the whole entire series. I know I'm finally doing a review, one book at a time, of said series, but I loved this series, which surprises me because I'm not a sci-fi reader. Like, I'm not a sci-fi reader, so it surprises me how much I love this series. Now, it might be because I read or listened to the entire book, the entire series on Audible. I did not read the book in paperback because I've heard some people talk about reading the book was super confusing, and I can understand that because it's not written like a book, which makes it super duper creative because of that. Because it's not written like a book, to me that just makes it super creative. You know, it's written, oh my god, stop, that's so depressing. Oh god, that's depressing. I didn't realize I wrote them all out in the book. You know, like it's not written like a traditional book, which makes it super creative, but for some people it made it really hard to read. It's written just like a I forget what they're called, a dossier. It's written just like a dossier of people's chats and things like that are all combined into what's known as the Illuminae Files. And so I can see how that's hard to read, but listening to it on Audible, girl, boy, whoa, like they have a full cast for it. It's not like, you know, your normal book where it's just one person doing the voices for everybody. No, honey, it is a full cast for it, which makes it so much fun to listen to. Just so much fun to listen to, and I would highly recommend listening to it on Audible if you can't read it. But anyway, so for the Illuminae Files, let's get talking about it. So the Illuminae Files, it starts off in the Corinza sector, which is an illegal mining company. Actually, they illegally mine, I forget what it's called right now, but it's a legal mining company, and they do some illegal mining on it. And it starts off in high school, where Katie Grant, our leading lady, because this series is filled with some badass women. Yes. So Katie Grant has just broken up with her high school boyfriend of Ezra Mason, and they're both a little miserable. Ezra is extra miserable. Katie is pretending like she's not miserable, but she is. And so they think that Katie believes that this could only be the worst day possible for her, and like that's it. Just breaking up with her high school boyfriend whom she loves is the worst day possible. Until next thing you know, their home planet is being bombed. Yes, being bombed, literally. And everybody is running for their lives. People are dying, and they are trying to get to like the jump station, so that way they can jump off of that way they can jump away from the planet and get into their like ships and stuff like that, so that way they can get away from the planet safely. But the invading force of Baytech Industries is starting to take out these things one by one. Luckily for them, there is a fleet nearby doing practice drills, and so the Alexandria actually hears their SOS calls and comes to help save them. So they are able to they're able to help get as many survivors as they can off of the planet and into their ships and research vessels and things like that. So Katie Grant is able to get off the ship and onto the Hypatia, and Ezra was able to get off the ship and on to the Alexander. Did I say Alexandria earlier? Sorry, the Alexander. which is their like army, their command vessel, their army vessel kind of thing, tactical one. And so they do make it off safely. Katie's mom makes it off safely. Her dad is on a different jump station entirely. He's at jump station Heimdall, so for the time being he is safe. And unfortunately Ezra's dad does not make it off of the planet. So Ezra is alone, and Katie and Ezra are on two different ships. But luckily they are able to talk to each other through palm pads, which whenever I hear that, or like whenever I hear that, I think of like literally like, y'all remember the old school palm pads, like, and like Blackberries and like a stylus? That's what I think of. I mean, it's probably closer to an iPad than a palm than that, but hey, what do I know? That's what flashes through my head. And so with this, they are refugees now on these flights, and the Alexander is actually not controlled, but is helped by an artificial intelligence unit called Aiden, who is there to, you know, run all the numbers, run all the scenarios all the time, and know all the things that are appropriate to make this fleet run smoothly and make sure everybody survives. But because of that, because that is Aiden's prime directive to keep everybody safe, he does everything that he possibly can to keep everybody safe. And sometimes that is not what people expect or what people want him to do. But that is exactly why they have an artificial intelligence unit, to make the hard decisions, even if it's going to hurt them in the end and cause a lot of pain and a lot of problems. He still does it, even though he's not supposed to, he's told not to. He still figures out a way to do things in order to save the fleet. Everything he does is for a reason. It's just sometimes as humans, our emotions get the better of us, which can't blame us for that. We are humans, and we think a lot of times with our hearts instead of our heads. So while they're on these ships and these fleets, a whole mess of problems break out on the different ships, and like a whole mess of problems break out on the ships that no one could see coming, because no one knew what Baytech Industries was doing or why they were there and what they were releasing onto their planet. And no one could have ever foreseen what would happen when whatever they released would end up in closed circuit places with recycled air in the middle of space. So Katie and Ezra have to find a way to survive on their different ships, and of course they end up falling back in love with each other. But they have to find a way to survive, and survival is going to be key for them, because Aiden has decided to take matters into his own hands after a deadly plague has been released and is mutating on the ship, which is not a spoiler because it's on the back of the book. That's why I had to look at the back of the book to make sure that I could say it and it wouldn't be a spoiler. And Katie finds out while trying to, and so as the AI starts going crazy and this plague breaks out on a different ship, nobody's telling anybody what exactly is going on. So Katie takes it upon herself to learn how to be an expert hacker and an expert computer whiz, so that way she can always know all of the information and can help in any way possible, as well as so that way she can communicate with the ex-boyfriend she didn't think she was going to talk to again. But of course, in high school, we still always have feelings for each other. And you know, first love always comes back, especially in a time of crisis. So this book starts getting really crazy, really fast, and it's so suspenseful. It is actually very suspenseful. It doesn't seem like it would be, but it is. Like, read the book. But anyway, let me not give away too much, so let me get back down into my breakthrough. So the theme for this book, I would have to say, is survival. Girls are the best. Don't underestimate the young ones, because we think outside of the box sometimes. So don't underestimate us. Don't underestimate women, because we are coming for this world. So that theme, that I'm claiming as to be that theme, I give 5 stars to. Because, yes, I love this book. Our main character, let's go with Katie and Ezra. I'll give Katie 4 stars, and I will give Ezra 3 stars. Katie, I really like Katie. I think that she uses a bad situation to figure out new skills and to learn a lot. Does she do a lot of stupid stuff in this book? Yes, she does a lot of stupid things in this book. But she always believes that she has a reason for it, and I can respect that drive and initiative to try and save the ships and save her world and to try and save her family. Ezra, I give 3 stars just because his character doesn't really develop that much. I feel like he is just a pretty boy who gets conscripted to become a pilot. And, I mean, he's just kind of a person who follows rules, but he is still always willing to do whatever he needs to do for Katie and Katie Grant, and yeah. So our antagonist for this book is going to be Aiden. I give Aiden 5 stars because Aiden is crazy, but like, he's not crazy, he's logical. But sometimes logical things can just seem crazy, and Aiden is willing to do some things to make sure we survive, and that's what makes him so dangerous. That is what makes him so dangerous in this book. And so, but he goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and you never know what he's going to do. You never know what he's going to do. And through it all, it's just, woof. Yeah. Overall, I give this book 5 stars. If you haven't understood that I really enjoyed this book, I had a lot of fun with this book. It has so many twists and turns, especially because since they escaped, Baytech is on their tails trying to hunt them down and kill them all. And a lot of their drives are broken and don't work, so they can't just like zoom off, you know? Like, it's no Star Trek, you know? I'm giving it all she's got. Like, no. So they've got all of that going on, and there's some moments that have you holding your breath in this book, and then there are some turns and you're like, oh my god, like, what is that? And so it's so good. This series is so good, so I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. So definitely pick it up. Don't forget to I think that's all I got for this book, so I'll just keep gushing over it and not actually give you any sort of information or detail on said book. So definitely pick it up, read it. Maybe, you know, I highly recommend listening to it on Audible, because I'm pretty sure I would have gone insane trying to read all these pages, especially, you know, all these deaths. There's a lot of death happens in this book, a lot of death. You know, I probably would have gone crazy trying to read it, so I understand why people didn't like it if they were reading it, but on Audible, it is the best thing ever, so definitely listen to it on Audible. But yeah, I think that's it for me. And don't forget to follow me on all the social medias, so that way you can always know when I'm gushing about a book or when I love it. You can see more pictures, or you can hear me talk about it on my blog. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this book. Did you listen to it? Did you read it? What? How did you do it? Did you get read? Did you get it read to you? I don't know. But let me know what you thought. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button down below. So, until next time, everybody, keep turning the pages.